In my last video, I discussed my philosophy for Overwatch, my drop from Masters 2 to Platinum 2 and Diamond 4. This video, I'll be covering my new training regimen, meant for my growth as a player. There's 3 things I want to train overall if I want to become the best player I possibly can. The first is micro, then macro, then ego. Obviously I can't hit top 500 if my aim is about as accurate as a Sims 4 stan, so I went ahead and booted up several different aim training software. 3D Aim Trainer came with my SteelSeries mouse, so I figured I'd use it since it was free. On there, I found my sensitivity using their surprisingly accurate finder. My preferred sensitivity ended up being 1600 DPI with a game sense in Overwatch of 3.02. The overall eDPI is 4832 for those of you who want to be a bit more precise. After some time on 3D Aim Trainer, I realized that certain parts of my aim needed specialization and individualization. I can't improve or get better at aiming if I'm constantly entering a gym with no routine. If you understand what I'm trying to say with the analogy. I'm here to grow, which means I need a training routine meant for the style I'm trying to craft. My experience in Overwatch includes these characters. Shion, my new one trick.
I'm gonna crash out.
It's okay. Won the fight, guys. Good job. Hanzo. Reaper, Soldier, and Zenyatta. Zenyatta is for when no one lets me play DPS. Most of the time I'll be fighting close quarters because of my hero pool, but this means I need accuracy in mid to short ranges. For this, we need scenarios that prioritize 2 things: precision, movement. Tracking happens all the time, so we don't need to train that as much as the 2 previously mentioned. I decided to switch to AimBeast because I found it draining every time Aim Labs pushed its subscription onto me. I could have just ignored it, but I found AimBeast on the store with good reviews for relatively cheap. I decided to cop the coin and fell in love with the simplicity, or maybe just the placebo effect of spending money. Is it better than Kovacs or Aim Labs? I don't know. Personally, I think it gets the job done. If my opinion changes, I'll let you know though. I found this custom routine that was on the top of the main page and, well, curiously I decided to click it and start with that for my daily routine, since it was mixed of relatively medium-high difficulty and the duration was 2 hours. An aim training routine that is pre-packaged like an Amazon crate. Perfect. That's exactly what I needed. It's a mixed routine that includes all the fundamentals when it comes to aiming. Over the days of training, I was thinking about my training. How does this apply to Overwatch? What am I training for? I realized instantly how even the way I think can influence exactly how I should be training. Take for example this scenario. There's a sphere that moves in zigzags in erratic directions. This reminded me a lot of Derobio Eskrima. Oh yeah, I'm going martial arts on you guys. The way I will be training with this routine is by playing a simple game that trained both my movement and my aim. I follow 3 simple rules. Number 1, always move. Number 2, stay in the center of the map and never leave the square that is drawn by the room. Number 3, draw a line between you and the sphere. Track the sphere as much as possible while not letting it get on your side of the room. It's okay if these rules break. The purpose of the rules is to exercise specific muscles, particularly your spatial awareness in the midst of aiming at a target. We're trying to simulate an actual scenario as accurately as possible. Whoa, I might hear you say. Frenzy, this is a little disorienting. Good. We want to train that part of you. If it feels weird, disorienting, or you get dizzy, then you're doing it right. That means you're growing. This sets you up for the next scenario very nicely. Here is where the fun begins. The first routine was just to get you used to it. It was very hard, I know, but that's the point. It's because we're training 3 things at once. We're synchronizing our movement with our aim, and while training the movements that compensate for the crosshair. And between your focus on those 2 things, we're bridging the gap with the compensation that your arm has to make for the crosshair. Do we see where this is going? I'm trying to train myself to be a demon. The difficulty you felt is the friction of neural rewiring. You're no longer training your hand to aim, your fingers to move. You're training your brain to treat movement, positioning, and shooting as a single fluid action. Notice how I keep taking two things and harmonizing them. I wonder where that comes from. This is the foundation of the quote-unquote demon mindset, where micro-mechanics, aim/strafing, and macro-positioning angles/space happen subconsciously, freeing your conscious mind to focus entirely on the time and space exchange. But remember, demons are meant to be exercised. We're here to become gods, not demons. The next scenario is the speed training version of what we just went through. This time, there's a bigger space in the center, blocked off by invisible walls. Your job is to follow different rules for this game, or at least my job. Number 1, don't worry about staying in the center. The invisible walls do that for you, so just keep moving. Number 2, try to hit all the bouncing spheres surrounding you using the movement. Number 3, do not try to control your aim. Instead, do a mix of the two. Sometimes you'll feel tension and tightening. Treat it as if your body is trying to do multiple things at once. Instead, let the movements carry themselves. Observe what your body is trying to do and examine that. Eventually, you'll find something valuable. Why I'm telling you rule 3 now? It's because I wanted you to know what the tension felt like. When you try to control yourself, you box yourself in. I get it. Humans want structure, but training is about understanding the kind of structure we need for us as humans to flourish. It's time to destroy this shell of mine. I observe the tension that arises when my mind tries to force precision and deliberately surrender that control to let my body's natural rhythms take over. By maintaining constant motion and treating my aim as a passive extension of my movement rather than an active task, I strip away learned habits and reveal my native aiming style. The unique, efficient flow state where my mechanics operate on autopilot, freeing my conscious mind to eventually master the strategic time and space exchanges that define high-level play. This was a messy process. I was slow, inaccurate, and I realized how unrefined my aim truly was. Basically, I think I maxed out my luck stat because I'm not even sure how I got to Masters 2 with this messy kind of aim. Just goes to show how important macro is, I guess. When you finish those 2 tasks, back to back, you go into training with Sphere Track. Except you're not moving. And something weird happens here. At first, you'll feel weird because you're not moving, and the spheres are. This creates a subtle disorientation after doing the 2 previous scenarios in the beginning, or at least at some point in the routine. After a second or 2, you realize, wait, this is easier? This final drill acts as a sensory reset, tricking your brain into a state of effortless precision. By first overloading your system with the chaos of movement and spatial constraints, you forced your conscious mind to surrender control, effectively calibrating your nervous system to a higher baseline of difficulty. When you finally stand still to track the spheres, the task feels like you just unlocked the Sharingan. But in reality, your perception of complexity has shifted. You just emerged from a hyperbolic time chamber, where your brain learned to process tracking at high speed, making stationary aiming feeling like it's happening in slow motion. This contrast training strips away the tension of trying to aim, leaving you in pure flow state, where your crosshair simply sticks to the target, proving that your native aiming style is most effective when your conscious mind is held on a leash, unable to interfere. You want movements to be controlled. You want movements to be effortless. Train in a way that cultivates that. Above all, romanticize the training. Don't aim for a high score. Aim, then shoot. Fall in love with that simple rule. The more focused you are in the present, doing your best in every second you're living, the faster you'll grow. I want my training to help me grow naturally. By following this training, I'm targeting multiple groups that need growth, but I'm also allowing myself the freedom necessary for finding what about me as a player is special and doubling down on those aspects.